Newsflash: Ronald Reagan was extremely pro-gun control. Now, I know that's hard to believe and even a tough pill to swallow for NRA members and members of the extreme right pro-gun coalitions. However, it's a matter of fact. Whenever Reagan's name is invoked in these conversations by conservatives, he's never quoted. He never uses actual words, because doing so would contradict their idea of a man who didn't even exist. The Ronald Reagan of the 1980s would never make it past a Republican primary. He would be viewed as a left-wing liberal, one that was capable of being governor of California. What could you expect? Now, Reagan took this issue to heart because he was shot and his heart stopped more than once in that ordeal in 1980 when John Hinckley Jr. shot him, and his friend and colleague, Mr. Brady, who the Brady Bill was named after. Brady had an exit wound in the back of his head. The bullet actually went through his brain and left him paralyzed. It's amazing that he lived. Well, Ronald Reagan left the office of the presidency with this still heavily on his mind and in his heart, because years later in 1994, when Bill Clinton was pushing for an assault weapons ban, it was actually Ronald Reagan who publicly wrote open letters to members of the Republican Congress to please support the Brady Bill. He was for gun control. That's Ronald Reagan, the conservative. And as far as Ronald Reagan's name being deified as it has been in recent years by Republicans, let's not forget this whole issue of taxes as well. Ronald Reagan invoked the highest tax hike in the history of the state of California, and he believed in raising taxes not like a Democrat does, but he believed in raising taxes as necessary, which is why President Reagan raised taxes 11 times during his presidency. So far it's Reagan raised taxes 11 times. President Obama, 0. Now, of course, Obama does want to raise taxes on the top 2%, and so then it'll be Reagan 11, Obama 1. Now, Clinton, who raised taxes several times, was the one who balanced the budget. So that's a whole nother issue. This video is centered on Ronald Reagan being pro-gun control. I just think people need to understand that he's on our side with this one. The great Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan does not believe that an assault rifle is a necessary possession for a civilian. Those weapons of war are better off used by the people who are trained for war. If you want to have a handgun in your house because you believe it protects yourself and you can prove that you have the background, and then you could prove that you're going to handle it responsibly and lock it up, then you have every right. You have every right to have hunting rifles. But to have a assault weapon is a whole nother matter. So take a page out of Ronald Reagan's book and support this new legislation, which hopefully will be coming down the pike to get these kind of weapons off the streets.